Guys. So in this video, I want to talk about a very simple topic, but one that a lot of people have, a lot of discussions about, and a lot of arguments about, and thing that's, an area that's probably quite subjective, and a lot of different SEOs will actually have different opinions on. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking specifically about what makes a good quality link. What is a good link? What does it look like? How do you identify a good link against a bad link? Um, One of the reasons I wanted to make this video was actually because I hear a lot of people say things like, you know, so and so's links are the best, like or the links from this person's the best, right? Um, and I usually just say, like, kind of laugh at it a little bit because it's not really a way to look at links, right? Links at the end of the day just come down to some very simple mathematical concepts and word-based concepts that you need to be able to understand. You need to be able to look at a link and say, is this link good or bad? Am I dealing with something that is a good link? Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go over exactly what I would look at if somebody gave me a link, and I'm just going to give um, a couple of different examples of links, and just kind of tell you what I would personally look at to identify a good link myself. Okay, so the two main pillars, first of all, um, are authority and relevance. Okay, now before we get into this, I just want to say, like, this is just the number one thing. Um, if you have a link and the link isn't indexed or the site is de-indexed, that is going to be a bad link. Okay, so anything where you put in, onto Google search, you do site colon, and then the link URL, right? If that isn't indexed, then it's probably a bad link. Now, if you just buy a new guest post, or it's maybe a niche edit that's on a fairly new post or whatever, then sometimes the page won't be indexed yet. Okay, so understand that a new link might not be indexed, and it means that it doesn't mean it's a bad link. It just means it's not been indexed yet. What you should be worried about is if you have a link up that's been up for, I don't know, let's say a link's been up for 6 months, and then it gets de-indexed, or the whole site is just de-indexed when you get the link placed. That's concerning because there's an issue with that site, or there's an issue with that page, and that means the page that you're getting a link from is toxic, right? So essentially, all links that are indexed, okay, are good links. Okay, very simply, like they're not good links, but they are links that pass juice. Okay, so links that will pass juice. If it's a link on a site that has links to it and it's indexed, it will pass juice, and it will be a good link, right? Now, there's a bit more that comes into it being a good link. There's more things. There's problems you can have by building certain types of links, and I just want to go over those now. Okay, um, so the two main pillars that I look for is authority and relevance. Okay, so authority comes in a couple of forms. Okay, what you need to think about when on any authority calculation, whether we're looking at DR and Ahrefs or whether we're looking at number of RDs, it basically just comes from other links being crawled, and calculation is made usually by DR from the amount of links that site has. Okay, so understand authority as like number of links to entire site. These are just different things. Um, and then number of links to page. Okay. So this is usually established by, like, the DR, so the domain rating, and this is usually established by the UR. Okay, so usually these numbers in Ahrefs, again, just a metric tool. I personally really like it because Ahrefs is a super good crawling weight on links, and I kind of understand how good, what levels DR metrics are like and how good they are. So that's why I like to use Ahrefs, but you can use any other tool that has similar metrics. But I like to understand it at page and a domain level. Okay, so this is what I want to get into, because some people will be like, if the link doesn't have a high DR, it's a bad link, and it's not necessarily true, right? Because you could have a link that has a huge UR, a lot of links going to the page, and actually it could still be a good link. Okay, now we're going to completely keep relevance aside from this for a second. I'm just going to talk about this. So this is why PBNs normally are so effective, is because even low authority PBNs that have maybe 100 links, so you could have pbn.com, which has like 100 links, And it could be like might only be like a DR, like I thought sites have like a DR8, right? But like a really low DR, but there's 100 links going to this homepage, right? It's 100 links going to this page, right? So, and if I can get this page and make this page relevant and link this to this page to my site, which is 100 links going to it, that's going to pass quite a lot of UR signals because this page has authority, right? Now it's the same if you were on pbn.com/inner page, right? And it was the inner page that had the 100 links, that would also be fine because it's just about what page the links are going to, right? Because the links are directly going to this page, it's going to make the page powerful and it's going to pass juice, okay? So DR isn't the entire picture, is my point. You can have an inner page on a website which has basically a higher UR, but the site has a low DR, right? And that would still be fine. Okay. Now, obviously, again, authority. In most cases, if you're buying guest posts, niche edits, DR is a very important measure. You want to build lots of links with a high DR. It's extremely important. So that's why DR is one of the main metrics we use at Get Me Links, because DR is just a fantastic measure for establishing the overall authority of the site. And if you're getting an inner page placement on that site, you want to make sure the DR is really, really high, so that if you do link and build tiered links to that page, that essentially you're going to get a lot of value out of that page because the entire site has a lot of authority. Okay, so I brought a tier 2 link building guide on that specific thing. You can go and check that out. That's a separate matter. But those are the two main things I'll be looking at to establish a good link, okay, in that regard. So if I'm getting a site that's got a DR0 and a UR0, right? I don't want to build these links at all. There's no power, right? Or even if it's a DR5 and a UR5, I don't really want this either. It's kind of low, But if it's a DR5 and it's a UR30 or something, right? Could be because a lot of pages, links going to that page, then that could be a good link, right? You're not commonly going to get this. Now, the best type of link you could get, of course, would be a DR100 with a UR100, right? I don't think I've ever seen that, maybe like the homepage of some huge sites like the homepage of Google or something. But if you've got a DR100 and a UR100, that's going to be the best thing, right? Essentially, you want both of these numbers to be high. You want to kind of be on massive site. That's why tiered link building is so good, because you can be getting on a DR60 site, right? And then, the UR by default might only be 10. There might be no authority going to this page. Only the authority, it's just basic authority is taken from the actual site itself. But you could tiered link to this page and make that's a UR20 or UR30, right? And that makes that essentially makes this like much, much more powerful, right? So that's kind of how you want to be thinking about DR and UR and both of the different things, just so that you're looking at things in the full picture, right? So that's authority. That's what I'm looking at for authority. That's my number one thing to want to look at there. And then my other side of the coin is relevance, okay? Now, relevance comes in two forms. You've got domain relevance and you've got page relevance, okay? So put very simply, I'm going to be looking at the keywords of the domain, the keywords of the page that's linked to my site. You're very often not going to get links that are domain relevant. That's a very hard thing to do. You can only do that in certain niches. But page relevance is also very important. If you've got a page that's relevant to what you're linking to, it's going to pass a lot more juice and authority. And it's going to help you even more, right? So that's the other thing I'm going to look at when I'm looking at relevance, okay? So other than those two main concepts, there isn't a lot else I look at, right? Myself, for my own process, I don't really look at much else. I don't actually care too much myself about how much content's on the page. I would like to have a contextual link on the page. I want to make sure most of all that my page is relevant. Okay, if anything, like the content on that page that's linking to me is relevant. But those are the main things I look at. It's quite simple. Want to make sure the links do follow, obviously, and that the link's indexed, right? And ultimately, my main goal for scaling up sites is going to be to get on high DR sites. That by default, guest posts will have a low UR, but what I do then is I tiered link build to those guest posts to build up the UR, which means I'm on a huge site with a huge page authority, right? Which is exactly what you want. You want links from huge sites with links going to those pages. Now, you can build links from PBNs, like I said, where you've got maybe this homepage PBN example, where you have a low DR, but you just have quite a high UR because of the 100-odd links going to that page. you can build those as well, and I mix those into a lot of my sites too. It's just I like to have different types of links. I'm huge on building different types of links all over the place. So you can do that as well, but just keep in mind those concepts. DR, UR is your main signals. Obviously, the domain relevance, the page relevance is important to think about when you're looking at links. If you're getting links that are about flowers and your site's about dog food, it's not relevant, right? There's no relevance there. That's going to be quite a bad link, right? If I looked at that, I want to be looking at what the link's going to see, is this a good link or not, right? Is this relevant to what it's linking to? And that's very, very important. So those are the two main concepts. I hope this video made total sense. Quite geeky. I like to just get in and just show off the numbers and just give some examples. I hope that you enjoyed it and got some value out of it. If you do have any questions, you can reach out, leave a comment. I'm interested to hear your thoughts all the time. And yeah, I appreciate it. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.